Hi everybody, I'm Jess, and thank you for tuning in to my 3-part Cuba travel series. Cuba was a very different and interesting travel experience, so much different to anything that I've ever experienced in the past. To be completely honest, I found it tricky to wrap my head around traveling through this country. I was constantly torn between polar opposites of elation or frustration, depending on the types of situations I was placed in at the time. But I must say, I am so happy to have had the opportunity to travel through Cuba for 3 weeks and to meet some incredible people along the way. So come along with me as I explore Cuba in this 3-part travel series, as I explore the country from top to bottom, seeing the good, the bad, and everything in between. In part 1, we're going to be exploring Havana in the north and Santiago De Cuba way down in the south. Let's go. Hola amigos and welcome to a new vlog. I am here in Havana, Cuba, and in fact I'm exploring this beautiful country for the next 3 weeks. So why don't you come along with me while we take a look at Havana today. On my first day in Havana, I met a couple from Canada who were staying in my casa, and we paid 15 kuk each to take a tour around Havana. So here in Havana, Cuba, you find these amazing old cars, and it's because the American government stopped trade with Cuba at one stage, which meant that all of the cars that were existing in the country are still the cars that they use today. And although they can import from other places in the world, it's a lot more expensive because America is the closest place to import cars from. Just doing a little bit of exploration around the University of Havana, which is the best university on the island of Cuba. We're now going into some sort of fort, but I don't have any Wi-Fi here, so I have no idea what the fort is, to be honest. But it's been around since the 1700s. From the top of the fort, we had a stunning view of the city of Havana. Down in Old Havana now, and this is the Cathedral of Havana. La Bodeguita del Medio was Ernest Hemingway's favourite bar, and it was a very popular spot for tourists to come and visit.
A picture of Hemingway.
Ah.
At the back.
Alright, you're about to witness my first taste of my first Cuban beer. Oh, that's so refreshing. I'm staying here at No Limit Hostel Havana. It's pretty cool. This is my accommodation here in Havana, and it's absolutely lovely. It's the closest thing that I've had to a real proper bedroom in months and months. This is my bed right here, and all my stuff. It's a shared dorm. I've had 3 people in the room the past couple of nights. And this is my bathroom. It's pretty lovely, but the best thing of all is the view. Oh, and the lady just came into my room and was pointing to the fridge, and I opened it up, and my friends from yesterday that I went on the tour with left me some fruits that they didn't eat. Yes! Saving money! Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I've just popped into my favourite little breakfast spot, which is just around the corner from the hostel. And it's got an amazing view of the street, so I can just watch the world go by. And up there where those clothes are hanging on the roof, that's my hostel. Breakfast has arrived, so I've got my mango juice, my eggs, and my toast, all for $3 something. So don't get me wrong, I am absolutely loving Cuba so far, but it is a giant tourist trap with the 2 different types of currencies. So far I've caught 2 different taxis. They make you pay through the nose as a tourist, and you finally negotiate a deal, and if you don't have the right change, by the time you get to the end of your ride, you're like, can I please have the $2 change? And they're like, no, sorry, I don't have any change. So you end up paying the full price that they wanted anyway. So travel tip for the taxis, if you are going to negotiate a price, make sure that you've got the exact right amount of CUC on you. The other thing that I must say is kind of getting to me is the incessant catcalling. I went on about a 4K walk just before and I got catcalled about 20 times. Dudes, ladies, gentlemen, whatever country you're from, I'm telling you now, catcalling is not okay. It is harassment, it is annoying, it makes me feel uncomfortable. Do not do it. Also, I saw a lovely gentleman masturbating behind a fence, so that was a good walk. I'm really loving Cuba apart from that. The catcalling and that kind of harassment that you're getting is so much worse than what I experienced in Mexico, but maybe not as much as I have experienced in other South American countries, so see how we go. Throughout this whole trip, it's been the rainy season and it really rains here. As I'm sitting here waiting for the rain to pass, I've met this lovely man Mario. And Mario is drawing a picture of me.
Your friend. Mario, your friend.
Yes, see? This is the bus I'm catching on my 14-hour bus ride to Santiago De Cuba. The best way to get around in Cuba is by catching the Via Azul buses. One thing that I realized after I got outside of Havana was how beautiful, luscious and green the countryside of Cuba is. Just outside of the city of Santiago de Cuba today, in Cuba, at a place called the La Grande Piedra. We're gonna walk up to see this amazing view of Santiago de Cuba and the surrounding area. I'm guessing we're about halfway up here and the view is already incredible. Let's keep going. Now, final destination is up there. So, I'm already pretty sweaty and out of breath. That's gonna be pretty fun to climb. Let's do it. Just a tiny bit further. I've come from down there. Now I'm just gonna go. But I won't so much be like as I'll be like but I'll get there. Ladies and gentlemen, I have made it and look at this view, it's incredible! Over here is the beach. You can kind of just make out a little bit of coastline, but also a lot of cloud because we're really high up. Over here, this side is spectacular as well. Careful. Careful. I think that anyone who had a dollhouse as a kid, it was based on this house. It's the most amazing house ever. Where are we now?
We are in Santiago de Cuba at the cafeteria Casa of Los Dos. The best place where you can get hamburgers like yours, the vegan girl or from Australia, and mine.
Nice. How's your burger?
Vegetarian.
Nice. So this is Casa Don Pedro, and Pedro is such a lovely guy. Let me take you on a quick walk around. So this is a bit bit of a living room area here where everyone can hang out. We walk in here. You've got a kitchen. Then in here, this is the bathroom. This here is the girls' dorm. And this is my bed right here. Alright, so that is that's the tour of the casa. The next morning we set out to explore more of Santiago de Cuba and also head to the beach. Look how awesome my turban looks. Looks pretty good. All angles. Yeah. Just catching a taxi to the beach today. What beach are we going to? Supone. It's gonna be awesome. My last stop in Santiago de Cuba was Santa Ifigenia Cemetery, which is patrolled by armed guards and was one of the most beautiful and well-kept cemeteries I've ever visited in my life. The cemetery is the resting place for many notable Cubans, including Jose Marti and Fidel Castro. We were riding back from the cemetery on our taxi, and then it started raining very heavily. So now we're just parked here at a casa. Hola.
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 Y ahí te puedes comunicar con ellos o eso es para grabarlo, ¿no? Sí, sí.
We started the ride home again when it had stopped raining, but it started again. So this time we just sat and waited in the middle of the street. So that's a wrap on part 1 of Cuba. We went from Havana in the north down to Santiago de Cuba in the south and did a little bit of exploring. Tune in next week to see part 2 of Cuba, where we explore the city of Trinidad. If you did like this video, please hit subscribe on my channel, give the video a big thumbs up, turn on those notifications, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, love you, bye! Mwah!